Lawranne Stewart is being recognized with the Montrose Hall of Fame as the recipient of the Special Achievement Award for her impressive career serving her country as a Washington, D.C. lawyer. She graduated with honors in the top of her class from Montrose Hillmcloy High School, serving as a salutatorian for the class of 1974. When Lori was 17, a junior in high school, she became the second Montrose Blueberry Queen in 1973 and proudly reigned over the Blueberry Parade during those early years. Her parents were Lawrence and Jean Stewart. Lawranne is named after her father, Lawrence, and also her mother, Jean Ann, who was a teacher at Montrose schools. She has one sister, Becky Salavati, and two brothers, Scott and David Stewart. Lori attended all 13 years at Montrose schools. The Stewart family originally lived in town on Leroy Street near Montrose schools, then moved to a larger home on McKinley Road. During high school, Lori was involved in the National Honor Society, publications, band, chess club, drama club, and the Queen's Court. Lori received her undergraduate degree from Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan, with a degree in political science and economics. After doing graduate work in public policy at the University of Michigan, she moved first to Washington, D.C., and then to Hong Kong for 3 years. In 1981, while in Hong Kong, she married Mark Cantor. Mark was a fellow U of M student and worked at Bank of America. It was an exciting but very stressful time as the British agreed to hand Hong Kong back over to the People's Republic of China, but she had the opportunity to see much of Asia while she was there. After Hong Kong, they moved to New York City so she could return to school. In New York City, she graduated from NYU School of Law, preparing for her future career as a Washington, D.C. lawyer. Lori spent those days in the storied Greenwich Village, Washington Square Park area and had a great experience living in NYC and all it had to offer. She didn't see her husband very much in NYC, which told her she really didn't want to be a lawyer in NYC. Nonetheless, she passed the New York State Bar in 1988 and the District of Columbia Bar in 1990. Lori went to work as an attorney at the Federal Reserve Board. Unlike much of the legal profession, in the government there were many women who were lawyers. While there were still many hurdles, becoming the expert in an area was the way to overcome them. Lori became an expert in derivatives, an area few were interested in at that time. That interest grew over the years as swaps and options increasingly took on significance in the economy. When you are the junior person in the room, but are the only one who can articulate a problem, you get a lot of credibility, as she did with Federal Reserve Chairman Greenspan. Lori also covered a broad range of other economic and financial issues, which earned her a position at the Department of United States Treasury. After serving as the Associate Director of Government Securities Regulation at the Bureau of Public Debt, Lori worked as a senior advisor to the Undersecretary for Domestic Finance. Domestic finance covers every aspect of the financial system, from banking and securities to issuance of your tax refund. Her hard work and knowledge base earned her the title of go-to person, and she kept domestic finance running smoothly through significant legislation and changes in the economy. Seeking a respite from the intensity and long hours of Treasury, Lori joined the staff of the Financial Services Committee of the U.S. House of Representatives, perhaps the first staffer to ever go to Capitol Hill to get a rest. There, she had major roles in federal housing policy, securities law, banking, and derivatives. She spent 13 years on committee staff and helped write several bills after the 2008 financial crisis, including bills governing Treasury lending to banks, TARP, and reforming the banking, derivatives, and housing lending, Dodd-Frank Act. As staff, she played a role behind the scenes providing important support and expertise to congressional policymakers. She retired from the committee as chief counsel in 2015. After leaving Congress, Lori served as a senior advisor to the chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the new regulator for swaps and derivatives, as well as futures contracts, finally focusing again on the derivatives policy in which she had started. Lori also was a long-term member of Women in Housing and Finance and served on its board from 2007 to 2008. During her career, Lori was a part of a lot of history being made. She experienced the life of being a Washington, D.C. resident and the many events that took place living among the historical landmarks like the White House, United States Capitol Building, Supreme Court, Library of Congress, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, the National Gallery of Art, Smithsonian, and many museums, monuments, and restaurants. She basked in the fireworks on the mall and enjoyed the cherry blossoms at their peak in the spring. She experienced presidential inaugurations as well as many protests and events. She lived only a few blocks from the Capitol building and worked in the Rayburn building, where the Financial Services Committee has their offices. She accumulated many miles walking between the House and the Senate. Lori and Mark, who was also a lawyer and arbitrator, continued to live in D.C. Through their life in D.C., they made great friends and continued to live in a Victorian row house in a close-knit neighborhood on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Please stand and welcome to the stage for the Special Achievement Award, Lawranne Stewart.